Hello everyone, it's Ben at TV Parts Today. Back behind me on the table we have an LG 55UX340C-UF. We're going to be taking the back off this unit as well as removing the boards. If you need any help, if you have any questions or need to order parts, give us a call at 1-800-203-7484 and let's get into it. This is the back of the LG unit. There are some screws going all the way around the outside here, as well as one here next to the component inputs. There's a couple right here, and there's one right here where the AC plugs into the back. We're gonna get all of these screws out, and we'll get to the next step of actually removing the back. And I do believe that is it. We'll do one more pass. Oh, there we have one guy right here. There we are. Now we're going to begin to lift the back up. We want to be gentle so we're not damaging any components. It does feel like it's clipped maybe along the top end. All right. And then we'll gently lift this away and we'll get into these boards. The first board we're going to be working with is the main board. We're going to want to remove the clips from the side first before we get to the screws. This ribbon cable connection, we're just going to use our fingernail to pop that up. Then we're going to very gently remove that. This clip right here, we're going to squeeze down on the two latches on either side, and we're going to pull it directly away from the board. This right here is going to be a small lever that we're going to use our thumbnail to push down and release. And that should just come right away from the board. This one's going to be a very similar style. We're going to use our thumbnail to depress that little lever. We'll just slide it right out. Now we are going to remove the screws and it should come away from the chassis. All right. This should just lift up and away. You can take this little plastic piece off. If you're going to be putting a replacement board in, you'll want to replace this onto the new board. And that's the main board. Next up is the T-Con board. We're going to get these ribbon cables removed first. Let's get our fingernail up underneath these flaps and pop them up. And that should allow the ribbon cable to slide out very easily. This connection right here is going to have two buttons on either side that we're going to want to push in and slowly pull that away from the board. This one is going to be very similar, and it's probably a little bit difficult to see here in this video, but there are two little levers on the right and left side that we're going to want to push in, very, very similar to these. I'm just going to push those in, slowly walk that out. Now these two screws right here are probably going to be a little bit too small for the screw gun that we're using. So we're going to be using a fine tip screwdriver to get these two screws out. And after those have been removed, we should just be able to lift this free from the chassis, and that's the T-Con board. Last up is the power supply board. There are just a few connections here and here and here that we're going to need to get away from the board before we can continue with the screws. This guy is going to have two little buttons on the right and left side. Just going to want to depress those. We can slowly walk that out. These are going to have the flaps, so we're going to want to push those down with our finger and very, very carefully remove those away from the board. Those ribbon cable connections in the back are probably pretty fragile, so do be careful there. Now we're just going to remove the screws and the board should come away. It does appear to be it. And that is the power supply board. And there we have it, pretty simple board removal process. If you do have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments section below or call into our office. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you do subscribe, you will qualify for 20% off your first order through TV Parts Today, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching another TV Parts Today repair video. If you have a question regarding your TV repair, post a comment and we will try to help. And don't forget, you can help us and stay up to date by subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. Also, check us out on Facebook for exclusive promo codes.